we're back, live in the field. It's a harrowing experience. So harrowing. Wah, wah, wah. So yeah, everything's drying up nice and tickety-boo. There's a big wet spot over there underneath where the Sudan grass was. First time round in the discs, it was rather sticky. The old tractor almost went to China there. But by the time I got to the headlands, it had amazingly dried out quite a lot. So, hopefully, later this week, going to be hauling the heifers. I think Thursday is going to be heifer day. But hoping either tomorrow or the next day, be able to get the seeder over here, get this done. They're talking big chance of thunderstorms this coming weekend, which would be nice to get a good dash of rain on top. I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's even hard for me to tell. I'm actually overlapping, like the last pass ended there. So I'm actually driving on the last pass. A, it's a lot smoother for me in the tractor. And B, because these are light harrows, very light harrows. Yeah, it would be great if I had a set of heavy harrows. A, this tractor would not be able to pull them. And my big tractor is still not on its way to Shoal Lake to be fixed. The bigger tractor, I haven't had time to get to what the hydraulic leak is on it, but that would be great for this. But anyway, I don't have heavy harrows, so that's a moot point. Reason for not getting like a small set of heavy harrows that would be handy for doing like hayland, like knocking down molehills and stuff. This year, it's not in the checkbook. Big reason for that would be the big blue tractor is heading up to Shoal Lake, and that's probably going to be many thousands of dollars. And then once he's back and hopefully ready time for baling, then this one is going for a major overhaul. This one will be getting split. It's got a major hydraulic oil leak on the seal between the engine and transmission, and it's got a plethora, and yes, I will use that word, a plethora of small leaks all over the place. So basically, Shoal Lake will be getting, I think it's about 4 jobs to do on Big Blue, and then there will be at least half a dozen jobs on this one, oil leaks and such like. I've got a local guy doing the air conditioning. I have no air conditioning right now, which is not great, but at least it's not 39 degrees right now, so there's that. So yeah, so just having to go over it twice, it's not a big deal. It helps kind of break down little chunks here and there. This is kind of more chunky at this end, mainly because this is where I've been driving over, going out to the field to put silage for the cows. So, oh, there you go. There's a rare sighting of the Liam and his favorite place, a skid steer. He loves the skid steer. But here. He's doing some cleanup around the yard, mainly in the area where we're going to be in with the truck and trailer to pick up the heifers. And so far 2 of the bulls are out with the girls. One of the bull, the old angry mean one, I'm not overly happy with him. He doesn't seem to be doing a lot of servicing work and seems to spend most of his time just yelling a lot. So he might end up heading up the road behind the heifers pretty dang quick. We are probably meaning to be getting at least one, if not two, new bulls this year. One of them being a red and white one, Hereford. Another one will be a Black Angus. But we weren't hoping to do that until middle of summer, like to go and pick up two for cleaning up the herd, like finishing off the breeding season. But like I said, this guy doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of work, so he's gonna get himself out of here pretty dang quick. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to this, keep an eye on what I'm doing, and I'll bring you back. We're doing it. Yeah, we don't have GPS auto steer. Make it work. So, I think I covered this last year. This is the grazing club, the local grazing club cedar. They rent it out. It's like $10 an acre. You can kind of see it's got a little solar panel on it there. That's the weigh scales in that box. So yeah, you're just gonna, it's got one of those mechanical acre counters, and just figure it out. It's fairly accurate. Only problem is there's a book that everybody's supposed to fill out, and it seems like a lot of people don't get the concept. When you're filling out the book, you're supposed to write down the settings and what you were planting. That way everybody else kind of sees your settings, and it kind of helps them figure out what they want to do. Seems like a lot of people just figure it's the acre book, so you write down how many acres and what you planted. Kind of that, but it's also kind of common courtesy to write down how you set the cedar and what pounds you were putting on and what kind of seed. That way it saves, and you can also look back on your own stuff. That way, if you forget how you said it the last time you did this, those big bags that we got, we're putting on 1 bushel to the acre of the green feed oats, silage oats, and then, so that would be 40 pounds, and then we're putting down 4 pounds of alfalfa. So we're putting down 44 pounds of product. An 80 acre field. The sad part is, and I bet you Liam's probably wishing he's getting off to university pretty pronto. Because we don't have a drill fill, like a gravity cart set up, we're having to bucket using big oil pails from those big tote bags in the back of the truck to this. So yeah, old school, old school. So yeah, there you go, getting at it. Second time around the field. First time around the field, the numbers seem to work out. So this spell should do a quarter of the field. So by then we'll really know if we need to play around with the numbers any further. But 2022 seeding is underway. So yeah, we're about 25 acres in, and I figured I should just film this for any youngsters out there who happen to cross this video many years in the future and say, yes, it's true. It's hard to show you this. This is how it used to be done. I know. That's crazy, right? You almost can't believe it. It's like the Stone Age. Like, you can't believe what your eyes are seeing. We actually used to put our hands on this round thing and steer it up and down the field like we're apes. Like we have sticks and stones and we're throwing things at flowers and animals and booga boogas. That's right. We used to have to steer the machines up and down the fields. try and kind of guesstimate where the edge of the machine is. Guessing. Going by feel. I know, you almost can, but I'm sorry, you might need to go get to your safe space, kids. I'll stop showing you that. And we're back. Day 2. That end of the field is all done, so we're past 40 acres, so we're past halfway. Playing around with the calibration, because it turns out there was no settings for this. I had somebody once say, so the whole section is going to be down to grass and alfalfa, which is pretty well true. This field here will be predominantly alfalfa. That quarter section just over the hill there is alfalfa with grass. The field back here is grass with alfalfa, so predominantly grass. That field over there is just grass right now, but it will be getting stitched in the next couple of years. It'll get alfalfa and clover stitched into it. Oh yeah, and this field up here is predominantly just grass, same thing. And someone was saying, so, like, that's not very exciting, not a lot to that. And there's a really good reason. There's a really good reason why this farm is predominantly grasses and alfalfa. As you all know right now, cattle industry is not doing great in Canada, not doing great all over the world. There's too many middlemen, too many greedy processors. So right now, while the profits, if there are profits ever at all, while the profit margin is very, very narrow, you try to mitigate as many risks as possible. Don't take too many gambles. Like, it's enough. There's enough gambles in farming as it is. Put it that way. Because this is our first complete full year farming on our own, without the rest of the farm as security. One of the business plans that we figured we'd take on is do as little that warrants mistakes or accidents, or acts of God, like a drought or a flood, things like that. So that's one of the reasons that we went with what we are doing now. Okay, I'm about to change direction, so I'll bring you back in a second. And we're back. Yeah, I know my windshield isn't clean. So, what we figured was, the less time that we have to run tillage, because tillage is basically lost money. Every time that we're having to be running a seeder, it's pretty well lost money. The only time you're making money is when the cows are eating and you're making bales that you can sell as a rancher. Making bales you can sell, making bales you can feed to your animals. It's the only time you're making money is when they're eating. I'm talking about field-wise, not selling your calves at the end of the crop year. So, the less time you have to be running your seeder or your cultivator, your discs, harrows, whatever, the better. So if you can plant a crop that's self-sustaining, i.e. produces its own nitrates, or just keeps growing year in, year out, and you can keep harvesting from it, all the better. And what's one of the best ways of doing that? Especially on ground that can go anywhere from heavy loam to sand? Alfalfa. We will be using clover, like I said, over there, but for now, alfalfa is a sure thing. This, because it's going to be a new stand, and we didn't like how the Sudan grass went last year, we're going with a guarantee. Oats will literally grow anywhere. So Yeah, this has got oats in it, but it will be a predominantly alfalfa. There's no grass seed in this seed whatsoever. There probably will be grass comes up in this, but that's fine. So, but what we're going to be doing is we have the different types of fodder. So, like I said, grass with alfalfa, and then the other field there, which is heavy alfalfa. So that's richer. This will be predominantly silaged. So, being just straight alfalfa, it will be very rich. And you get the different mechanisms of the alfalfa once it's been fermented. So what we'll be doing is, because silaged alfalfa will be very rich, we'll be blending it with straw, oat straw, wheat straw, with our mixer wagon. That way it'll go further, and that way it'll ton up like corn does. Okay, I'll bring you back. Okay, one more time. So yeah, trying to get the tons out of alfalfa that you get with corn, it's impossible. Just does not work. But the money it costs to raise a ton of corn is crazy right now. Does not make sense in a cattle operation unless you have huge size, big numbers. Then you can swing now. Even then, when it comes down to cents per pound gained on calves, it does not make sense. I don't care who you are and how many animals you have. It does not make sense. But growing alfalfa, which will just keep growing every year for at least 5 years, if not 10, and getting straw cheap, because we have an agreement with our renter, or even if we were buying it off our neighbors for $2-3 per bale in the swath, still a heck of a lot cheaper. We plan to have it where we have straw sitting in it winter a year, then we'll use 2-year-old straw in the blend. Far more palatable, far more digestible, especially added to silage. So that's our plan. Like I said, yeah, it's not a really cool, exciting, growing all these multiple crops, cool things, but for the first few years this is what we're going to do, because it's safe, and safe is what we need while we're reshaping the farm. The big blue tractor, the 8730, just left on a semi this morning. We are pretty well guaranteed we're going to be into that tractor probably at least 10 grand by the time it's all said and done. And we're good with that. The tractor doesn't owe us anything, and it's got a bunch of work it needs done to it. This one, as soon as we can do without this loader tractor, it's going in the same direction but to a different shop. Same thing. We're probably looking at about 10 grand into this tractor. Not happy that we're doing that in just over a year since we bought it. That's a whole other discussion over some beer and maybe not all over social media, but yeah, for having paid over 40 grand for this tractor, and we're probably going to be another 10 grand into it, it bites, but it is what it is. And now I'm going to turn again, and I probably will bring you back one more time. So yeah, like I said, knowing that at least 2 tractors will be having major overhauls in the same season, and it's not because we just want to, it's because we have to. Because of that, we have to play things safe. So that is the reason that by the end of this year, this entire mile square will be completely green cover, no tillage on it anywhere. Like I said, the less hours you have to put on a tractor right now, the less fuel you're burning, the less oil you're using, the more cents you can keep on each calf going out the door. So that's my business plan. Me and Mrs. Piper Doug, we've had many conversations over coffee and tea in the morning because I'm a tea drinker. Yeah, even just getting her thoughts and her ideas coming from outside the farming world, sees things that I don't even see. She has a lot of experience running businesses. She managed many restaurants in her younger years, and she now being a municipal councillor, she gets to see things from a corporate sort of a perspective. So even that, you know, shines a different light. So just figured I would get you all up to date. We should be done the seeding tonight. I'm hoping I'm not going to run out of seed, but I do have some other seed still in the shop. Some of this blend where it's grass and alfalfa equal. It might end up going over there if I do run out, but hopefully don't. Fingers crossed. Yeah, like I said previously in this video, the book where you're supposed to write down what you sowed and what settings you used. Apparently people don't get that concept. So, yeah, learn the hard way. Anyway, I'll bring you back next time there's something or other. I know tomorrow we're hauling the heifer, so maybe bring you back for that. So, we are just done. Yeah, it's starting to rain. So talk about feeling good. We got the seeding finished at 11:30 last night. Got the cedar all cleaned out. Turns out the cedar had a breakdown. Didn't know anything about it, but the seed is in the ground, so we're good. So we just hauled 26 heifers up to our buyer, and we are left with our chosen few, which are 20 replacement heifers, handpicked by the family. Everybody got a say in it. So yeah, all the redheads got to stay back. There's 5 of those, and a brocal, and some 4th and 5th generation females staying on the farm. So yeah, we just have to wait now. Our buyer, they process the animals over the next couple of days, and then they will send us our payment. It's always nice. So yeah, proud of my family. Sadly, one of the Fab 4 was not here to help. She's at school, and then she was working in the city, so she was not here. But it went slick as anything. Getting all these panels set, gates set, just bring them in bit at a time, and there we go. Yeah. Roll on the rain, baby. Woohoo! First cleaning of the year. Oh, probably do this one while I'm at it. Gotta clean it. I'm gonna get it dirty again, but I need to clean it because there's some pretty decent oil leaks. Down in there. So, figured I might as well give it a wee bath, spit in the rain. Like I said, the heifers are hauled off. The yearlings just got their bull. Lamar just went over, and it's starting to rain. So yeah, I'll bring you back when she's done. So I'm not sure if this is going to be on the end of the last video or the start of the next one. At this point, I really have no idea. So, as per the conversation about this tractor, so it got the wash. Like I said, the reason for the wash was to get in there. This thing is to do a great good going over, service, blah, blah, blah. So, this is all, maybe you all can understand this or can tell me what this is. This was wrapped around what's left of that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's your problem. My biggest problem is, this is one of these jobs where you have to take away 6 other things to get to that hard line there, the elbow that goes up in there. Because it's so big and you have to turn it, you have to take all the other fittings out of the way to get it to turn. But no, it won't turn once you take all the fittings out. Why? Why is that, Piper Doug? No, you've now got to undo these 4 Torx bits and let the block come away from the transmission to get it to turn. Yeah! Yeah, you can tell how happy I am. And yes, most of these tools were used. Most of them. As you can see, there's some very big wrenches. There's some small wrenches. There's a couple of shifters in there. There's 2 different Torx sizes, even though the 2 Torx that held the filter housing right next to there, but no, they had to put 2 different sizes. Needless to say, I'm not going to film while I'm doing this because there's certain Scottish words that the rest of the world are not allowed to learn. They're not privy to that because it might hurt their sensitiveness. So anyway, I'm going to clean all this stuff up because there's stuff that the pressure washer can't get to. Clean it all up and then go to my magic box of O-rings and hopefully get this back together and not so drippy. I still have that drip right there. That's not from that is from up in there. And that's one of the reasons this has to go to Shoal Lake, because it's between the engine and the transmission. It's a smaller drip. That one, I don't know if I said this already, doing a 10 to 12 hour day out doing tillage and seeding, used a bucket in a day. That's how bad that goes. Well, I think you can understand by that. So yeah, this was sort of critical. I can work away with everything else, but that was, yeah, no, that was getting old. Especially with the price of oil right now. And for those who don't know, 96 bucks a pail. Yeah. It's not like we produce oil in this country. Oh yeah, we do. We do produce oil in this country. Wow. Weird. Huh. Anyway. Let's get on. So, after washing the parts, I had a sneaking suspicion. So the top of the hard line is that one there, and the bottom of it, that one there. Well, when I unscrewed that from here, the metal line dropped down about 1/4 of an inch. It went just like that. So obviously, instead of taking everything apart and screwing this fitting further up into the block till it lined up with the hard line, they got it till it hit the next fitting, rang this up against it on, you know, that O-ring, and then they pried down on the hard line till it got close enough to get the thread started and just gave her gutty and did that. So what's the chances of me either fixing this or finding another one? Yeah, that's what I figured. So I'm going to see if I can try with a hacksaw redirect those threads back in line and hope when I get that side back on, when this is at the right height, might I add, that it will get going. Honest to God, people. If you don't know what you're doing, well, I don't know what I'm doing either. But if you really don't know, well, yeah. Anyway, if it doesn't fit, don't just make it tighter. Seriously. Like I said, ever since I got this tractor, it's been leaking oil. And I said that to the guys that I bought it from. I said, this thing is plowing through oil. Not their problem. So, and I'm still not going to name them, because that's not nice. They know who they are if they're watching this, and some of them, well, at least one of them said that they were. So, this is what you guys traded a skid steer for. Okay. Well, fair enough to say, that's the old grass seed, or should I say alfalfa seed, getting washed in. Woohoo! Kind of feel bad, my neighbor's still trying to see these combining crops out there, but anyway, get back to trying to fix this. There you have her. Yeah, you probably can't tell with all that light there, but I'm trying to hold her arm's length. So yeah, all it was one more turn. One or two. I think it was one. One or two more turns on that elbow, and it was closer to that hard line to fit on. But you had to take all that other stuff apart to get those turns. New O-ring, cleaned everything all up, put it all back. So yeah. This is due engine oil, fuel filters, all that good stuff. So I might do it because it's actually still raining, still giving her. That's good. Sweet. So yeah, that'll probably do for this video. Unless you see more video. If so, enjoy. So yeah, I'm gonna head in for supper and then come back out and we'll top up the fluids on this. Give it a trial. And if you, in the next scene, see a tractor sitting out there burning, mind your business. But apart from that, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Tidy bye.